welcome to episode 2 of the Daily Habits podcast. I'm Sukh Sapra, a DJ turned coach, and I'm bringing you daily actionable steps you can take to create lasting change. So, what are we talking about today? I often get asked about morning routines and what the best routine might look like for someone who's ambitious or a high performer or simply someone who wants to achieve a lot in their life. Now, for those that are unsure, when I say morning routine, I mean the set of things or rituals we carry out before our working day begins. Firstly, let's bust some myths around this because we see a lot of this online nowadays. Myth number 1, your routine does not have to look like what you saw somebody doing on Instagram. For one, they're just showing you the highlights, not the real deal. Secondly, what works for a 25-year-old single person may not work for a parent of 3. So your personal routine has to be personal to you, not what you saw somebody doing online. Thirdly, not all morning routines begin at 5 a.m. That is a trap. Let me explain, because your morning routine has to fit into your day and your lifestyle. Now, you might be someone who may be working late. I certainly do on the days that I'm DJing. So if I just got back from a gig at 1 or 2 a.m. the night before, it's highly unlikely that I'll be waking up at 5 a.m. the following day. So make it fit into your schedule. And lastly, having a really fancy routine is what throws most people off. Yes, they look great and we've all seen them on social media, but there are far too many steps involved, it takes too much of our time, and life simply just gets in the way. You see, most of the time, morning routines don't fail because we're lazy, they fail because our mornings already feel rushed or reactive. So waking up slightly early and starting the day with intention just allows us to feel in control. And that's the real purpose of a morning routine, to start the day with intention. So maybe ask yourself, what helps you start the day with calm and control? What gets you into a rhythm? For me personally, that's usually a meditation, and if I haven't got enough time for meditation, then maybe just reading while I sip my cup of coffee. It just allows me to ease into my day rather than feeling rushed. A great way to give yourself the best chance at having a morning routine is actually winning the night before. The morning routine starts with your evening. Having a wind down routine before you go to bed is really crucial, because if you feel rushed at night and getting to bed, chances are you won't sleep as well. And when you don't sleep as well, you're less likely to wake up the following morning to stick to a morning routine that you can potentially just skip and crack on with your day. Right? So having a really good wind down routine is good. A wind down routine should include, things like putting your device away at least maybe half an hour before you go to bed, dimming your lights, not having any caffeine. I would say, at least a few hours before, but I think scientifically, they say an 8-hour window of no caffeine before bedtime is ideal because it allows your melatonin levels to rise naturally. So, going to bed, don't have your device by your bedside because you are likely to be distracted with your notifications. And this way you wake up feeling rejuvenated and refreshed versus waking up rushing. All these tiny habits will help you wake up ready for the day versus waking up rushing. Laying out your gym clothes the night before if you plan to go gym the following morning. It's going to be one less obstacle in your way the following morning. It just helps clear decision fatigue. And a great way to carve out a morning routine is, having a set of non-negotiables. What do you want as core 1 to 3 activities that you think you really want to do to get yourself to a good start for your day? What makes the needle move for you? Maybe link it to a higher goal that you might have. You may have a goal of, getting fitter or leaner this year. You may have a goal of having a better diet. So this way you can use your morning routine or morning time slot that you give yourself to maybe get some activity in, or maybe meal prep, or maybe learn a new skill, or read a book on self-improvement. There's so much you can do, but ultimately you want to align it with something that's meaningful to yourself, because then you're more likely to do it. You also want to be realistic about it. You don't want to try and climb the mountain on day 1 and then get nowhere. You want to be realistic. You probably want to start with maybe a 15 to 30 minute window, because this way you're not waking up ridiculously earlier than you normally would, and you're not going to feel as tired during the day simply because you decided to have a morning routine that day, right? You're less likely to survive it. So you want to build the identity, and that's going to take some time. So you're better off starting small and then building it slowly. A routine that you stick to consistently is far better than, a 2-hour routine that you'll hardly ever do. The crucial thing here is that you want to anchor it to your wake up time. So as soon as you wake up, the first thing you want to do is carry out your morning ritual. right? Because then you're going to train yourself to be in the routine and habit of doing that as soon as you wake up. And you want to do it before life gets in the way and before you start checking your device. You also want to give yourself some flexibility. And now I know I might be contradicting myself here, but you want flexibility within that rigid theme of doing a routine. And what I mean by that is some days you may have an hour, but other days you may only have 15 minutes. So be flexible, be easy on yourself. If you can't do the full hour, doesn't mean you don't do it at all. Just do a shorter version, because again, you're building the identity of someone who's showing up consistently and taking out time for themselves. 10 minutes of doing something every day is far better than 30 minutes once in a while. And if you really don't have enough time to do a full routine, then maybe start with just one thing that you can incorporate into your morning before your day begins. And again, this could simply be maybe some stretching, maybe some light movement, maybe even going for a walk. Whatever that is for you, whatever gets you out of bed and gets you a little bit motivated and excited to do it. Because this way you're going to make it yours, you're going to make it personal, and you're more likely to see it through. And this brings me to what we discussed last week, starting small. It's identity versus outcome. And once you've built the habit of doing it daily, then you can habit stack by adding something else to the routine. Don't overhaul your system by trying to do everything on day one. So a few good examples of a morning routine, if you're just starting out, could be, something very minimalist. Maybe wake up, drink a glass of water, get some movement in, take a shower, and then let your workday begin. Or you may want to begin with something a bit more grounded. Maybe just do like a gratitude journal, then grab a book whilst you're having a coffee, plan out your top 3 priorities for the day, and then off you go to work. Or if you're someone that needs a bit more energy, then you could simply, go for a workout after you've woken up, hydrate yourself, have a high protein breakfast, review your goals for the day, and then get on with your working day. The point is you want to customize it based on your constraints. You may have children in the house, you may have early morning meetings, or you may have late nights. Whatever that is, make it work for yourself, customize it and make it personal to you. The one rule I would highly recommend is that don't use your devices or phones first thing in the morning. They are simply a distraction, and the further you delay them in your day, the better off you'll be without sacrificing your work. Lastly, you can't improve what you don't measure. So you want to start tracking the days that you are doing your morning rituals and on the days you're not, because this gives you the opportunity to reflect what worked, what didn't work, what you enjoyed, what you didn't enjoy, and then you can start to slowly remove the things that you like doing less of and incorporate more of what you do enjoy. You also want to have a minimum viable routine. And what that is basically, on the days you're really pressed for time, you don't have a lot of time on your hands at all, but you still want to get something in just to not break your streak, then have a minimum viable routine. It could just be maybe 10 minutes, but something that you're going to do even on the days you feel rushed. Remember, consistency beats intensity every single time. And lastly, adjust and iterate. Your routine should evolve as you evolve. You don't want it to be set in stone. That's how you stop growing. So just to recap, the morning routine isn't about perfection. It's about starting the day with intention. Keep it simple, make it yours, and build from there. This week, I want you to pick one morning activity that you want to build to make you feel grounded and controlled and calm. Do it for 7 days before checking your phone and see how you feel. Just one thing. See how it changes your day.